Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Daryl? Hey, Fury. Jesse, good morning. Squid, good morning to you. Hey, Shayak, good morning. Here we are on the S&P 500, guys, and it is looking like a Friday. Looks like we were going to open really close to yesterday's low. Morning, AOD. Morning, coffee. A pump and dump day. Okay, okay. Calling it early. A bold move, Cotton. Good morning, Ed. Well, here in a sec, we'll check their daily levels. Let's see if we're below. Yeah, so pretty much yesterday's levels are what we're looking at. Low, the high. It would make a lot of sense to pull back today, especially after the big move couple of days ago here, this candle. Might need to come back and test the midline of that. Morning, Cricket. We're at the top of this little range here. And yeah, we'll see if this is a correction kind of day or not. That's kind of what I'm anticipating. Fury, you can do it. Control yourself. Control yourself. Here's the Nasdaq. Check out our levels here. Likely the very same. Yeah, so the low, the overnight low is basically right at the top of that previous resistance. A little bit more of a substantial gap on the Nasdaq. Cricket asking, on a daily drawdown, if the price runs against you $300, doesn't hit your stop and turns back and you win the trade, is that a $300 drawdown? No. The trailing drawdown via Apex, if you were up $300 and then it came down to break even, you'd be in a $300 drawdown on your trailing threshold. But on a daily, no. You win the trade, there's no drawdown there. Yeah, you gotta take a loss. I mean, yeah, you'd have to check the specific rules. I don't know what prop firm you're talking about, but in general, no. If you, yes, you were in a $300 drawdown while you were in the trade, but if you don't close it for a loss, then it's not part of your daily drawdown. Anyway, hey Toad. I can't remember if I said hey or not, so what's up? Good to see you. Apex? No, that's not a drawdown. Well, guys, we have the market open here in 10 minutes. No news for today, except for a little bit of Fed speak at 10:15. So, Fed speak lately has been shaking up the markets a little bit, so I would be cautious of it. We'll probably be flat when that hits. I don't think it's going to be a crazy event, but you never know. So I'm going to be flat for that at 10:15, but otherwise should be solid. I think there are a few companies reporting. I don't think anyone major though. Just double check. Yeah, no one major. We're good to go on the earnings front. Hey Bill, hey Neil, good morning guys. Well, it's looking like a Friday trading, guys. Market is not doing a whole lot here. And very understandable. I mean, we just reached an all-time high. It's been a pretty crazy run up all this month. A lot of trend days. It's kind of funny because it didn't feel that, like, there was a lot of days that felt really dead. There's only really like 1 or 2 really solid trend days. The rest were just kind of slowly creeping up in a way that was really difficult to be a part of, but that's how it goes sometimes. Coming back to the EMA. I'm not really too keen on a long, as we're just coming off of that possible resistance. One little note, guys, if you need something else to trade, gold is in a nice uptrend right now. Fury's asking if you could short it yet. Daryl with gold futures, yeah, I use a tick chart. Right now I got a 750 tick on. Market is going to be open in 3 minutes. We're getting a nice pullback into the middle of the range. Oh, there's no music. Interesting. Looks like it's going on my end. All right, there is the market open. All right, well, so far, guys, we are in a range. Make sure you take note of that. Market has not picked a direction yet, and likely won't. Likely won't. The most likely scenario for today is just a chop on Friday after a whole week of upward movement. Little break of the downward channel on Nasdaq. We got a divergence going on. Looks like Nas might get a break in a new low of that channel. Meanwhile, S&P moving up. ES still chopping in the middle of the range. Really nothing we can do here, folks. You just got to be patient. Below yesterday's low on the S&P though, so far a little bit bearish. And we're testing that level on the Nasdaq currently. If we get below and stay below, it will be a bearish sign for both indices. Gene saying his entry is at 50, 13, 50. Your entry's got a ways down, my friend. Here's Gene's entry. Down here somewhere. Might be a while. Bet on World War III breaking out. But hey, G might know something we don't, guys, so beware of that. That 50-13 level will be coming soon. Nasdaq's looking a little bit better than the S&P. A little bit more fluid movement. We have this channel working up, coming off of yesterday's low. But the S&P is below yesterday's low, so not a good sign that you have two different realities there. One a little bit more bullish, one a little bit more bearish, so good sign to wait. right on the midline of the range. Well, I'm curious how you guys are doing. It's been an interesting week. Some good movement, also some ranges and stuff, but I'm curious how the week has been for you. We're gonna do a little poll. So let your voice be heard. I'm really curious here. What are your results this week? Green, red, break even. Nice. So far, everyone green. Crazy. Good job, guys. Proud of you. It's okay if you're not green though. All right, I'm still proud of you. But let us know. I'm curious how everyone's doing. And the results are anonymous, okay? I'm not gonna call you out. $14 votes and 80%, 86% green. Bill woke up to over $600,000 in buying power. Okay, well that sounds like a good day. I'm assuming that means you passed a bunch of evals. Thanks, Gene. I appreciate that. And Jesse, always rocking those likes, man. Thank you, thank you. Reminds me, I don't know if this reference is gonna fall on deaf ears, but it reminds me of Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Vitamins down the hatch, water in the gut. We're ready for a move here. Still kind of just chopping around here. Not much movement. We're just basically smack dab in the middle of the range. We are below yesterday's low. now on both indices. You can see we're below it here on S&P and now below it on the Nasdaq. So that's probably the best thing that's happened today so far. We have a little bit more confluence. Morning, Saif. You blew your first ever 250k eval yesterday. Hey, there's always a first, right? Speaking of which, I did see on, I don't think Apex has emailed anyone. I did see on their Discord that they are extending the 250k performance account fee sale. That's a mouthful. Meaning that for all 250k accounts, you can activate them. Like if you pass one, you can activate it for the same price as a 50k. So $85 for a lifetime activation, extended till the end of May. So if you got a bunch of 250k accounts and you don't want to try to pass them super quick, you can take your time and still activate them for really cheap. So that's a great update. I know a lot of people were like, oh man, I don't want to have to try to do this in 2 days or whatever. Now you don't have to. Now you can load up on some 250k accounts in the next couple of days for an crazy price, 16 bucks a piece, and then take your time. Once you get past the performance account activation fee, it will still be active till the end of May. So you got a little bit more time. Hey, Caden. It does look like people are doing good in green. We have 22 people voting. 64% are green this week, and 23% are break even. That's amazing, guys. Great job. Kudos to y'all. I'm gonna close that poll too, in case there's anyone else that wants to type in. I'll leave it open for 1 minute, and I'm gonna close it. The most profitable chat on YouTube. I'm calling it. I am calling it. A second entry short here is somewhat interesting. But I mean, we're just in the middle of the range. It's probably best to do nothing here. Straight congestion. These are the times, guys, that will make or break you as a trader. If you can sit through some of this garbage, you're red, or even break even. If you're break even, this is the kind of thing that can move the needle in your favor. Just being able to sit out congestion and wait for some good movement. And to be honest, I think a lot of people are in that boat, very, very close to breaking through into profitability. You just need one more active discipline, one more practice that you implement. Like just not trading when you're in the middle of the range. Something along those lines. Alright, on the NAS, we are now at the bottom of the range. And if we break down and continue going, there might be a wider trend in play. Or we might just bounce right off of it and continue the range structure. Find out very soon. As it bouncing off the bottom of the range. Bummer, Gene. Missed you by like one tick. ES above the EMA. Congestion anyways. Monowar, what's up? It's an epic name. Nasdaq is right on that channel line. Pretty much a long shot that this thing is legit. All right, here's a nice move up. Deleting that wider downtrend. Again, that was a just in case channel. Just in case we kept going down. Didn't expect it to happen in this range structure, but here you go. Back above yesterday's low. ES is getting pretty close to getting above yesterday's low as well. All right, getting a move back up on the ES. All right, getting a nice move down here. Pretty solidly bearish candle. See if it holds. may be headed back down to the bottom of the range. Kind of looks like this is more like this, with just an outlier down here. And pretty clear support right around that level. Alright, sorry Neil, I just saw your question. I'll get to it here. Neil asking, while I'm learning this method, I'm trying to focus on second entry setups only on the ES. Is it best to stick with ES, or is there benefit in also watching Nasdaq, gold, etc. to increase frequency of trades, or is that a distraction? If you were still learning the method, I would say that is definitely a distraction. Yeah, once you get down, if you can trade the ES and be profitable month after month, then you can consider adding another, like watching another market as well. But otherwise, you know, if you're not profitable, taking more trades, doing more markets is just going to make you lose more. If that makes sense. So yeah, stick to one until you're profitable, and then you can start to branch out. Nasdaq again at the support of this range. We never got into this area of the range. We bounced off the bottom. That's usually when you'd see us start to meander our way to the top. Did not happen. So a little bit of a bearish bias coming in here. High, lower high, lower high, low, lower low, lower low. Starting to work our way down. May break below this range. We'll see. Fury asking, is a double top or bottom only classified as such if it is at the high or the low of the day? No, I mean, look, the market is fractal, right? There's always higher time frames, lower time frames, lower time frames, and so something that may be happening, you may have a huge bullish trend on a higher time frame, but it looks bearish on a shorter time frame. In the same way, you can have a double top on the daily chart, but on a 5-minute chart it looks bullish. So the answer is, I guess your question is no, it's not only if it's the high or low of the day. There's lots of ways you can look at it. You can look at double tops on and bottoms on a micro level, right? Here's double bottom. That's all it means, is just two bounces at the same level. This was a bottom here, it bounced up, here's another bottom here. So yeah, I mean, are the ones that happen at the high and low of the day more important? Probably. If you have a double top, let's say, at the high of the day, we move up here and you get, you know, a double top, lower high, and then you're going down. That's going to be more significant than like something that happens on a micro level, but it's still all classified as the same thing. Yeah, there is Fed speak right now going on. Thanks, Cricket, for calling that out. Doesn't look like our good buddy Waller causing any harm to the market so far. Daryl, that is a fantastic question. Were there any key changes you made that made you become profitable? Yes. I would say the number one key change that I made to become profitable was simply being more patient. Deciding I am not going to trade anything unless I see my setup. Previously, there's all sorts of times where I would just jump in, like, oh man, market's going down, I think I can get a quick buy to this, or man, it really looks like it needs to go up here, I'm gonna jump in, and essentially gambling. And you know, it would get some winners on that, but when I looked at the stats, it was like, if I just eliminated those trades and I just stuck to my setup, I'd be profitable. Why am I not doing that? So I just made the decision to limit myself to only a particular setup, and I saw my profitability just shoot up from there. So hope that can inspire some of you. Actually doing less is more. That's often the one thing that you need. Do less and you can be profitable. Exactly, Gene. It means you're maturing. If you're still trading on impulse, like, oh man, you got a long road ahead of you. That will not, I can say pretty dang confidently, that will not lead to you being profitable in the long term. If you're taking trades out of impulse and not following a system, you're not going to be profitable. Now, once you get profitability way down the line, you will develop some really solid intuition, and you might start to enter trades based on that, but that's not the starting point. That's not how you get to profitability. That's way later on. Daniel asking, why am I doing ES today versus Nasdaq? I'm not. If you've watched the stream enough, you know I bounce back and forth. ES is kind of the default because that's what most people trade, but I got the Nasdaq chart right here. Still looking at it. They look about the same right now. But yeah, we can chill on the Nasdaq for a little bit. Yeah, that's right, Jesse. Yep. The plan and the patience must come before the intuition. Doesn't work the other way around. Yes, working its way up. Kind of looks like it might head towards the top of the range. Hey Delta, what's going on? That all that kind of information, what chart I'm using, what indicator I'm using, etc. You can all find that in the description. But to answer your question, it's the 21 EMA. That's the only thing I use. Otherwise, trading pure price action, and it's not really an indicator that I'm taking trades off. It's just supporting my trading decisions. But no, I'm trading price action. By the way, Delta, good to have you. Thanks for subscribing. Welcome. Just found out that this chat is quite profitable this week. I'm curious to see, you know, if we keep doing that poll, how many green weeks we can have. I got a feeling that this chat is one of the most profitable chats on the internet. I'm just gonna call it, guys. Well, move up. We might be able to get a long setup. Honestly, I'm not too excited about really any setup here, with just how rangy it is. Nasdaq also getting a move up. I'm looking around to see if any other markets are interesting to me right now, because yeah, there's got to be other opportunities, right? Gold still looks pretty good. We had a nice bounce off the trend line on gold. I wasn't watching for that. No, Delta, no Fibonacci. Just the EMA. Otherwise, just looking at price. All right, so still moving up. This is the first time really the Nasdaq has gotten into the upper half of this channel, or this range rather. And this movement's looking pretty good. Like, these candles have been forming pretty fast. We can get up in here and then pull back to the channel line, the EMA. I might consider a long. Alright, well I think on the ES it's pretty safe to say we can move this range up. And looking for some rejection here at the upper half of the range, maybe we can get a short. Both indices respecting their channels so far. Nasdaq pulling back a little bit more than the S&P. S&P very close to the top of the range here. The one thing is I don't like how we got here for a short. You'd really want to see this kind of meandering, chopping back and forth, you know, doing this kind of stuff to get to the top of the range. This is a pretty tight, well-respected channel. But not as great to short. But if we can come here, get a break, new high, then some good bearish bars right here, that could set up well for a short. Okay, here we are, top of the range. Let's see what happens. We still haven't had a break of this channel. So I'm looking for two things here, guys. One is a rejection. Ideally, we break out right here and then just have a very nice bearish looking candle. And then maybe a lower high, something like that. That is a pattern I would trade for sure, getting a short. The other thing that could happen is we could find support at the top of this range. So if we continue up, this channel continues to hold, and we get two legs back like this and a nice bullish bar, I could be persuaded on the long side. Because of the range action, you know, favoring the short, but because of the tightness of this channel, because of how solid this looks, a long is a possibility. If this was choppy up here, I wouldn't even be considering a long at all, but when you have a nice tight channel like that, you have to pay attention. So, bit of a pullback there, confirming the possibility of a short. Ideally, like I just said, we could push back up one more time and then get rejected. But we might also just have the chance for a failed second entry long right here. So now I'm pretty much not going to take a long. Settled on the short side, just depends on how it sets up. I have two possibilities of a short setup. have the first attempt to go higher by the bulls. We can push below the EMA here and then get one more measly attempt higher. I like that for a short. Brad says, I just want to appreciate you. Your calm demeanor is nice opposed to the other streams. You guys jacked up on Red Bull screaming. Thank you, Brad. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, you know, some people like that energy. I'm sure it's really entertaining. First of all, I just can't do that. I can't do that day in, day out. I would absolutely burn out. And second, I'm here to trade. You know, if YouTube shuts down tomorrow, I'm gonna be fine. I'm trading. I'm doing this full time, so I don't need to add all the extra flair. Don't burn out. Drink water. Yeah. Well, you guys know I drink a lot of water. But yeah, I appreciate that, Brad. Just trying to keep it real. Just being myself. So also, I'm in Pacific time, dude, so it's really early over here. You know, market opens at 6:30 a.m. I don't know who has energy at 6:30 a.m. to do all that. Maybe if I did my streams later in the day, you guys see a more energetic, you know, that kind of thing. But you may not want that anyway. Joe's jacked up on water. You bet. Actually, guys, check this out. This is a little divergence from my usual routine, but I got little electrolytes in the water today. I don't know how I feel about it. Trying it out though. You got to try some stuff sometimes. Alright, so it looks like the first option is what is playing out so far, which would be a break and a new high, and then hopefully some sort of bearish pattern right around here. Come on, baby. Just need to see some sort of bearish pattern here on the S&P. The Nasdaq, we're not quite at that resistance level, so not interested in a short just yet. Could set up in a bit, but my focus is definitely on the S&P right now. Didn't quite make a new high on that. Still waiting for one more push on the ES here to a new high. Code says sometimes I'm not sure if you're frozen or the internet frozen. Yep. Goes back to previous comments, man. I'm just chilling. No pun intended. Yeah, here for the dad jokes. You know, I should do a daily dad joke, come to think of it. That could be my form of entertainment. My dad, the only ones I know, they just come to me, you know, in the moment. I see a pun, I go for it. Maybe I need to get a little bit more organized, you know? Prepare something. Do a little research for you guys. Who's there, Jesse? Michael Jackson, who? Ooh. Hee hee hee. That is very dad joke, my friend. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Still think S&P might push just a little bit higher. It's probably going to want to test this overnight high here. But we could just turn down. We'll see. And then I would look for a failed second entry long. Can you tell a dirty Michael Jackson knock-knock joke? I won't respond to it. I'm not gonna play along, Toad. But you know, free world. AOD asking, is my bear sentiment for the morning coming from the overnight high rejection versus continued correction from yesterday? So I don't have a bearish sentiment for the morning, AOD. All I'm doing right now is just noting that we have a very clear trading range. Like there's no doubt about it. Support right here, resistance right here, right? Very clear. So I don't have a bearish sentiment. I'm just looking for shorts at the top of the range because that's what prices do in a trading range. Goes from support to resistance, right? So now that we're at resistance, I am looking for a short. So I'm not bearish on the day necessarily. This is just a good context to look for a bearish trade. Still have not even got a first attempt to go longer after this double top. So again, that's what I'm looking for at this point is a failed second entry long. I want one attempt to go higher, push below the EMA, another attempt to go higher, and then a bearish bar that we can take short. That is the setup I'm looking for right now. Has to happen exactly like that, or I won't take the trade. And with that, guys, I bid you a great weekend. I'm gonna head over to the Discord, and maybe we can get that set up here in the next 10 minutes or so. But yeah, everyone else, hope you have a great weekend. It's been good. I'm glad to see most everyone is green on the week. And yeah, catch you guys on Monday. Take care.